MSTY, or MSTY, boasts an unreal 185% yield on the company website. Many high-yield dividend warriors are now going all in on MSTY, and they're laughing at SCHD and SCHG. Lord have mercy. I think I'm getting too old to educate these high-yield dividend warriors week in and week out. Today, we will learn all about MSTY. This includes both the pros as well as the cons, both the benefits and the downsides. Imagine that. Now, in order to understand MSTY, we need to understand what MicroStrategy is. So MicroStrategy, this is a business intelligence company. Now, it's actually not a new company. This company has been around since 1989. Yeah, it's been around as long as Taylor Swift. But it's also had some amazing returns lately, as they now own 1% of all Bitcoin outstanding. And the last year, MSTR, or MicroStrategy, is up 507%. In the last 5 years, it's up 1,500%. MSTY launched in February of 2024 and it has really impressed so far. It has not had any NAV erosion. It's actually been up 36% since inception. Now, if you know anything about Bitcoin other than it always seems to be involved in scams, like I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin was at the Diddy parties. Yeah, I bet you wouldn't guess there would be a Diddy reference in this video, but we went there. Now, one thing about Bitcoin is that it's extremely volatile, meaning it can have huge swings up or down at any given point. And this is where YieldMax's MSTY hopes to take advantage of that. Its primary goal is to deliver high monthly income to its investors. This is achieved through the sale of covered calls and credit call spreads on MSTR or MicroStrategy. It's capitalizing on its volatility. Options are a lot like a side bet on if a stock will go up or down. MSTY will make a bet that the stock will go up called a covered call, and this means that they will cap potential gains in exchange for cash up front called a premium. Now the trade-off here is that while you might enjoy that cash no matter what, right? We get the premiums no matter what. MicroStrategy may do really, really well in the stock market, and we're only going to get some of that upside. Those gains are going to be capped and those gains are going to be missed. The more volatile a company is, and MicroStrategy is super volatile. It has a beta of 3.12, which means it moves 3.12% more for every 1% the overall market moves. MicroStrategy has put $10 billion of investments into Bitcoin. It really needs Bitcoin to keep winning in order to be successful. Now, many of you come from a middle-class family. Is betting on Bitcoin the way out of a middle-class family? Imagine what you can do if you came from a middle-class family. Now, MSTY also has credit spreads, which is a chance for MSTY to benefit on some of the upside if MicroStrategy does very, very well. Now, generally, MSTY will tend to underperform MicroStrategy as a whole. Since February, MSTR is up a mind-boggling 340%, while MSTY is up 235%. And that's with dividends reinvested. I know the warriors are foaming at the mouth if I didn't include that. Again, those are amazing returns, but we would have just been better off just buying MicroStrategy. This is again why this type of investing is not free money. This is why investors have not found the magic beans to retiring early. A 340% return in a year is abnormal. That is how much the S&P 500 is lucky to get in total returns in a whole decade. You might notice that MicroStrategy doesn't have a PE ratio. This is because the company actually doesn't make money consistently. Despite being around for 3+ decades, it lost money 2 of the past 3 years. You might almost say that Taylor Swift makes more money than this company. Where is the Taylor Swift covered call? This means MicroStrategy might be vastly overvalued and could have significant downturn real soon. MSTY will not provide any crash protection if the company goes down. You will go down with the ship, and the dreaded word that high yield dividend warriors, they don't want to admit that it's true, but this word will happen. We're talking about NAV erosion. You saw how fast MicroStrategy rose in share price, right? It went 514% in the last year. But trust me, guys, somebody that's been following the stock market very closely for years, stocks can lose all that value in a matter of hours. It's honestly scary. It might take a long time for it to go up, but it will come down real quick. And with NAV erosion comes declining dividends. And MSTY has paid some amazing dividends so far. In fact, its most recent month, they paid a whole $4.20. They paid $4.20 in dividends. That is very, very high. I love that number. But let's face it, guys, over $4 a share in dividends for a security that's trading at $29 is quite insane. I will give anyone who bought this fund at the start a little bit of credit. They have definitely enjoyed some very good returns. They have certainly outpaced the overall market. Congrats to those long-term MSTY shareholders. Even our favorite specimen, who enjoys getting tight with his army buddies, has managed to make some money with MSTY. As much as I hate to say it's true, he has been right so far on this one. However, here is the problem. The greed is kicking in. Some of the high-yield dividend warriors truly think they are getting free money. They honestly think they will get over $10,000 in dividends for the rest of their life with less than a six-figure portfolio. And this is the thing, they think they're taking on no risk. They don't really understand how these funds work. The risk is that MicroStrategy stock will come down. The risk is that Bitcoin will come down. The risk is that MicroStrategy's business objectives may change. They don't owe you anything. The risk is that premiums will go down in the future, which means dividends will go down. One thing to remember is that dividends are never guaranteed. See right here, shareholders of the fund in huge bold letters. Shareholders of the fund are not entitled to any dividends paid by MSTR. So guys, the fund has no obligation to pay you dividends. Anyone who actually reads the prospectus would know that. But let's face it, most of these high-yield dividend warriors, they don't really specialize in reading. Any downturn in the cryptocurrency market could negatively impact MicroStrategy's stock price and consequently MSTY's income potential. Yeah, you didn't click on this video to hear about all that, did you? You wanted me to say how easy it was for you to become rich, how it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows. Guys, the stock market has done very well this year. That doesn't mean it will always win. The stock market does go down sometimes too. In fact, most experts believe that the stock market will have next to no returns in the next couple years. And that's where income ETFs might actually come into play. Income ETFs, they offer a chance to get some upside when the market moves sideways. It's a way to benefit off stocks in more ways than just price appreciation. But solely retiring off these, those that are hoping to retire off these will have a very short retirement. The problem is that many of these investors, they don't look at the fundamentals. They really only rely on belief. Belief is important in life. Go tell your son you believe in him. Go tell him he's going to be the best baseball player ever. But you can believe as hard as you want, and that will have zero impact on the share price. Part of the key to financial freedom is definitely making the money, but the other side of that is protecting the money. This is the side that often doesn't get talked about enough. You work so hard for your money. YieldMax will make money off you no matter what the fund does, whether they do well or not. That 99 basis points expense ratio is not super cheap. That's $99 for every $10,000 invested. I'm talking directly to the high yield dividend warriors. Don't ever talk poorly about SCHD again. Keep SCHD out of your mouth. Now, I have beaten the market the past 3 years. Check out my full $215,000 portfolio in the Patreon link below. Congrats to my newest Patreon, Brian H. He now gets access to my full portfolio, as well as all my weekly stock trades. Want to learn how to actually make money in the stock market? Join the Discord, it's in the link below. We have so many smart conversations in there. Hit the like button, let me know what you think about Misty in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.
I got to do a calculation. So 1,000 share, $1,000 divided by Tesla, Coney, Misty, divide by 3.